Welcome, friends, gamers, and other enthusiasts to the BoydofZINJ channel. I hope you enjoy your time here and the video. Please like, subscribe, do all the bell icons, and comment. It really does help small content creators like myself and others by doing so. If you click on the notifications, it may even let others and the YouTube gods know that they may enjoy these videos. With that being said, let's play. All right, Mechabellum. All right, I know I haven't recorded much of this in the last few days. I've been so busy with work. I've also been playing other games. I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 with my friends. I've been trying to do a solo version of Baldur's Gate 3. I've also been playing Star Sector, City Skylines, and something I don't, I also play games, offline as well. I'm playing Path of Exile. Then, of course, I work for a living. I'm 50 plus years old, and you know, sometimes I get busy. All right, with that being said, I have two matches for you today. I hope you enjoy them. Let's fast forward through some of this blah 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 and get to meat and potatoes of this video. And for those who's wondering why I'm doing it, it's been a while since I played, so I'm just checking over my options just to make sure I have everything correct. And then let's start looking for a match. On this first match, their card selections were actually pretty decent. But I really liked and the heavy armor specialist, high HP and good units. Remember, arc lights and sledgehammers both clear fodder pretty well, but they have the exact same speed. So you can. I like to have sledgehammers act as my quote unquote tanks. You know, they take the brunt of the damage, and the arc lights clean up the damage. So I like to have them move forward a little bit. And as long as they don't have artillery units, stormcallers, sorry, it's been a while since I played this game. Sorry about that. It's been a while since I played this game. Uh, I like to put the tanks vertical. And the reason why vertical is better, in my opinion, and I've been doing research on this, is if they go horizontal, they tend to fire on the same target. When they're vertical, they tend to pick different targets so they kill especially fodder faster. Now I'm putting the arc lights to the edge primarily. I'm a little unsure about the placement of the last one, but one thing I know is I need fodder units, to absorb the damage. And Fang make good fodder units for two reasons. One, they're numerous. Two, if the enemy has air units, they can also potentially shoot down air units. So I need something that shoots in the air, potentially. I decided to this last arc light unit, like I said, I'm a little unsure about. So I decided to reinforce the left. I was thinking about reinforcing the right, or the middle. But I said, and then I put it in the inside so that way, in the pinch, it can reinforce the middle or go to the right if it's like a headbutt situation. But the other person playing conservative midfield and knows how the enemy has also placed their stormcallers, their artillery units, in a vertical formation, so they'll get to shoot at different targets and stagger it a little bit, which is fine, which is great. And yes, I know that the person did have artillery units, but because I had the fangs up front, that's the reason why I put the tank units. And notice how, because the tanks are spread out, they actually killed the fodder pretty well. Let's see what happens. Let's fast forward this a little bit. The first match is always a 50-50. It's a toss-up. I lost, but it wasn't bad. Normally, I like to skip this round, but every one of these cards is useful, except maybe the mass-produced melting point. Every one of these cards I want, except for the mass-produced melting point. Again, I normally skip and get use the 200 to purchase Mustangs and put them on the edge. In this case, I decided to do this with steel balls. Now, steel balls are not optimal in protecting against flanks, especially if they use, crawlers or mass units. However, they'll work for now. And I decided to go vertical, and I do want to protect the flanks a little bit. So this is how I'm arranging them. When the match starts, I always like to glance at the flanks to see if there's flanks, and make a mental note just in case. Now the enemy did exactly what I would normally do and get Mustangs. And it says, huh. Now arc lights are actually pretty good against Mustangs. If you notice that they usually tend to destroy one and damage 2, 3 others. And as a result, they can clear out Mustangs pretty decently if you notice. So the balls were in, but they made good fodder against the Mustang, and the arc lights cleared them out. The left side did a little better than the right side, and you have to remember the left side also has that extra arc light, so it makes sense. But it's still a loss. But because I picked a unit or a card that had so many points, I got several points ahead. Now I'm debating between subsized stormcrawlers or incendiary bomb, and I know most of the units the enemy has is in the middle. So I decided to go for incendiary, and let's hope that the enemy does not have protection shields. And I decided to go for the right middle because the right middle has a unit that potentially can upgrade, and that unit will be more powerful, so you want to destroy it. And it's just as fragile. Those stormcrawlers going to level 2 won't give them that much additional hit points, so the incinerators would still kill them. I decided to get 1 unit of crawlers and another of balls. Actually, 2 more balls. And you're wondering why did I waste my time and get crawlers? Well, crawlers are really useful for numbers, right? They can distract units, and I put them so far in the back, they come after the fact, after everyone's engaged, to hopefully overwhelm the enemy. At least that's my game clue. And look at that. Look at all the stormcrawlers I killed, and even marksmen I killed. So the right side obviously is going to be a little better than the left side. Let's take a look. And notice how I'm cleaning them up. Left side is of course waiting still because that incendiary bomb helped, napalm bomb helped both sides really. Deployment specialist or tech specialist, those are the two. I briefly thought about the shield, but nah. So getting 3 units is very useful. I decided to do something cheeky breaking, and I decided to get anti artillery defenses. These should shoot down the artillery missiles. And I'm trying to get as many as the enemy has, so that way it should be blocking. He has 4, I put 4. Okay, I was debating about maybe a 5th one, but that's overkill and expensive. I need the money. I decided to go for balls. In retrospect, I probably should have gone for something else. I do notice that the enemy has one strategic disadvantage. The enemy does not have very much anti-air. But I don't want to play my hand yet, since I spent a lot of money on anti-artillery defenses. I decided to go for balls and use the air next round. And I put the new balls in the middle, more or less. Now the enemy gets hacker. That's dangerous. Very dangerous. In fact, it almost kills me in the game. And take a look at it. It's an orange hacker, so that's an elite level 3 hacker. The person got the level 3 elite hacker card. And you can tell left side's more or less winning. Right side complete wasted. In fact, left side's not even doing that great. Left side was overwhelming, it would be one thing, but I lose both sides. And the left side didn't even have an elite hacker, so I'm in trouble here. Now, because my initial player had more cards, I'm still ahead. I make a tactical mistake here, I think. I should get the supply specialist. Gain 50 credits is useful, but I decided to get this, and this is a mistake. Luckily, it doesn't cost me the king. And I said, well, since I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was a storm that actually does damage, not this one. I screwed up here. I finally decided to go air. And because I have more credits, I was able to get 3 units. And I decided to go Phoenix. And I go make them vertical for the same situation. For the vertical, the first one will hit one target. The second one will potentially hit a different target. And typically, a Phoenix has so much damage, it normally kills the target it hits. See, I thought that does damage, but that just slows them up and knocks out their special effects for a little bit, which is not what I wanted. At least not yet. Now, if you first had shields, it would have done it. And maybe in my mind, I was thinking the person's going to get barriers, so that's a great way to get rid of barriers, but it never happened, right? But, yeah, touch of fate. Sometimes we all make mistakes. Now, notice, on the right side, I'm kind of winning. Left side, this hacker's still there. But the right side seems to be coming together. Left side actually pulls it up. So we win. It came close, but the air units made a difference. I'm thinking either range specialist or parasitic ammo. I decided parasitic ammo. I kind of need the, what you call it, enemies. And I also give the upgrade to the crawlers, you know, which will also work with the parasitic ammo, where if they kill something, they'll replicate and create additional crawlers. And again, why do I want so many units is because those hackers are only targeting one single unit, so I want them occupied. I'd much rather have them, you know, possess a crawler than one of my bigger units. And the more units I can throw at them, the more disorganized and less effective they will be, especially if they're crappier units. At least that's the game plan. But again, I reinforce my stuff with additional Phoenix units, air units. FYI, I had to get a new mic. My old mic blew up. Alright, that missile was useful. Now notice that on the left side there's an elite hacker. That spells doom for me. Let's see what happens. In my brain, the biggest enemy I see here is the hacker. I'm clearing the shafts okay. I'm clearing the groups okay. The right side's doing a lot better than the left side. But it's the hacker. It's like, the hackers are causing me to fail. And unfortunately, the right side's collapsing because the left side is going to the right and everything's going wrong. I'm now losing in points. And next round, it's probably death unless I change it up. And I still haven't used the parasitic ammo. Waste of money. What should I pick here? I decide to go for smoke bomb. I would like to have heavy Mustangs, but Mustangs aren't the issue. Okay, so I went for napalm, and the reason I went for napalm is I noticed the middle has a lot of stormcrawlers and uh, mustangs, so I can get rid of lots of them. If I was smart, I would have bought the oil and extended it all the way to one side. But I also put the smoke on the left side. I leave the right side relatively alone because I need to make sure I can defeat one side, and I'm adding shields. The bane to both Vulcans and hackers are shields. And since I'm being a very aggressive, I decide to uh, put the shields as far forward as I can. Likewise, I get overlords, and then I finally used the parasitic ammo, and I decided to put it on the right side. I need a little bit more help on the right side, and I think I get uh, the buff to my armor. And the reason I get the buff to the armor for the overlords is it reduces the damage they take, which is primarily useful against mustangs. Mustangs will almost do zero damage against overlords with armor buffs, which is very useful. Concentrate on the right. I concentrate my view on the right. The left side still has units. Lots of the units died in the middle and left side a little bit. And then there is the smoke. My overlord died on the right side, which is left side's doing a lot better, but I expected that. And because the hacker is in the fire, it's doing damage. But the right side won with trouble. Left side obviously won. So this is a win. And luckily for me, it's a win-win. If it had to go a little bit further, what I would have done is I would need to put more air units out there. Some more overlords, I think, would have been the trick. But that was a tough battle. I came back and stole the victory and did something unexpected. And that's the trick to this game. You need to go beyond, reacting, and you need to let them react to you. The next match would have been telling on how, if it would have gone further, how the person would have reacted to me. Okay, new match. Slightly lower MMR, but who cares? All right, new match. The commander you pick will dictate the tempo of how you're going to play. Are you going to be playing aggressive? Are you going to be playing defensive? Are you going to play with more elite units? Is it economy play? It's very important on the card you pick. Plus, there's the hit points issue. Look at the hit point difference: 3,500 versus 4,700. That's a huge swing. I mean, that's like 2 or 3 matches easily, or especially early matches, or 4,400, 3,900. Now, giant specialist, so you get a few extra giants, but you don't always play with giants. Speed specialist, I'm not a huge fan. There's some people who are, but I'm not. You know, in the end, they're all the same speed. They're just a little faster. Supply specialist, I'm a big fan, but that's a low number. Elite specialist could be very powerful, but the problem is the first 2 or 3 rounds you're behind in the economy, and it makes a difference. But by like round 7, you could be ahead. At least in theory, right? It's all how you want to play. Elite specialists, your units are stronger. They do more damage, but they cost a lot more money to get. Likewise, they give off more EXP. So technically, you could be feeding your enemy more EXP, but it's a yin yang situation. They're giving off more EXP, but they have more damage that they're doing and more hit points, so they can receive more damage. In this case, I'm going to try Elite Specialist because one, I like the units. Two, and that's another factor too. Look at the units. Two, high hit points, and three, I do like Elite. So let's take a look at this game. And yes, with the power of editing, I did slow that down. That's why it seems to take so long. I've been theorizing. A lot of people, when they see Stormcallers, they tend to put like a fast unit in the middle to distract it. So to counteract that, I'm going to try putting the Stormcallers, the artillery units, outside the on the outside of the towers. So that way, if there's a fast unit in the middle, it doesn't necessarily distract the callers. Likewise, I'm putting them north-south vertical for the same situation I've given before. Typically, if you if you line them up east-west line formation, they'll tend to hit the same target or aim for the same target. Of course, their missiles get drunk and they go all over the place. But in this formation, there's a chance that they'll stagger and target different units, especially if other units become faster as they get into targeting range. So it's a chance for them to target multiple units. And in this possibility, their fire tends to be more concentrated. Not always, because again, there's lots of RNG. To complement them, I did take a look at the enemy's units composition. I need some type of fodder units. So I'm getting fangs. Now I can only purchase one, so I either put it middle or I pick a side. In this case, I'm picking the right side. I do have one arc light in the middle. And of course, I give them good luck, have fun coming. See, notice how the missile spread seems to be more concentrated on the right side. The left side, even though they didn't have that fodder unit to slow them up, those arc lights, the artillery units, did pretty well for themselves, considering all things. In fact, this might be a victory. I don't remember. They get a hold of the tower. Here it comes, but I have to destroy 3 units. Is it possible? Oh, I do have some Fang that survived, which is helping me out. And then I get their tower, which is helping me out even further. And I get that lone... it looks like it's a victory. Close victory, but I'll take it. And again, look at my hit points. I start off with 4,700, so even a small victory, the person's even more in a hole. Supply specialist is worth its weight in gold. As 50 extra credits for any units. Hey, I'll take that. Subsidiary Squalor was another good choice. I forgot there was another good choice in there too, but 50 extra units is definitely the way to go. I'm behind in economy and I need as much as possible. So the left side almost won. I just needed some type of fodder units. And I'm thinking, well, that's last game. He's going to have 2 additional units, maybe even 3. And I says, well, the only way I can compensate is I'm just going to have to guess and hope that this is enough. Now this person goes for the gusto, sees my Stormcrawlers on the sides and puts crawlers as flanking units. And my fangs that I put out there mostly all die, but they do their purpose. They delay the stuff to let my other units take command. And you'll notice my Stormcrawlers didn't quite kill all the crawlers. But since they're inside the minimum range, they can't attack them, so they rush forward, even though they're being slowly chewed on, to attack the enemy. And it looks like I might be able to win, but then again, how am I going to kill those crawlers? It's going to be one of those goofy. If I win, it'll be by the skin of my teeth. Sorry, I take a small breath. If I win, it'll be by the skin of my teeth. Whatever that really means. So I do have some fangs that survived, and they're the ones who actually take out the crawlers. Yay, I win. It's still a small victory, but hey, I still am ahead of points, the person behind. Nano repairs are good. Redeployment's average. Heavy armor is really good. Shield drop's also good. But I decided to skip. In retrospect, maybe I should have took the shield. Having some shields would be useful. But the reason I skipped is I wanted to get some extra units. And getting some Mustangs is really useful. And I also did some quick math. These Mustangs took 50 to recruit. And they'll be good for killing the crawlers on the side. And I also positioned them that if the enemy puts additional crawlers, the Mustangs should be able to deal with them as well. and they're fast units, so they'll be able to re-engage once killing the crawlers. They'll be able to re-engage. Now, I have 200 credits, so I can spend 50 more, recruit 150. If I would have spent that 50, I couldn't have recruited an extra unit. Now, what I decided fodder, and I don't want the fodder to be attacking left or right, so I put them north south like this. It says yes, and they'll come in late and hopefully make the difference in battle. Left side takes a missile, so I lose a bunch of Fang and support. So let's see what happens. I didn't notice this until now. I'm basically playing 3 lanes. Left, center, right. Center is my weak lane. Right's a little strong. Left and right is pretty much the equal. I think left has 1 extra unit, but because it lost a Fang, it died. But the real problem is on the right side, there has an enemy fortress, and it's taking everything I can to take it out. But I do take it out and score a win. This is a major tactical win for me. And look, I still have yet to lose, so I still am mega points in. So this is great. And the further we get in, the more powerful my units become. And I go for a heavy Mustangs. This will decrease their range, but will make the Mustangs seem tougher. And since these are level 2 Mustangs I'm recruiting, they're going to be tough. This is a win-win in my opinion. Let's see what happens. I decided to go for steel balls. I think this is a tactical error, now that I think about it, but this is what I went with. Why steel balls? I'm guessing that this enemy is going to have a second fortress to the left. Steel balls have an ability where they'll lock onto an enemy, shoot a beam, and given enough time, they'll destroy anything, including a big fortress. And since these are level 2 steel balls, they'll have more hit points to survive a hit, maybe 2 hits. So my center fangs go down. I'm surprised, no fortress to the left. Why not? What happened there? And the enemy didn't reinforce his flank, so where did the Miami dude spend the money? And the fortress isn't even upgraded. I think the enemy got more, I don't know, marksman? Left side's totally dominated because it had an additional steel ball. It wasn't the last time. I'm not, I have to, is it important what I know? No. But it's that fortress give me trouble. But since I have these stormcrawlers who are only level 1, they're taking them out. Now, I do notice now that the Mustangs are actually shooting down missiles. So the person maybe thought I was going to be going heavy into stormcrawlers, and had so many Mustangs took the stormcrawlers' damage away, but with that being said, the Stormcrawlers did enough damage to destroy the fortress, so there's that. I liked originally putting Mustangs in a situation where they can cover the enemy, but the problem is this person is using Mustangs also to clear fodder and to kill units. So you can't do both. You can either choose one or the other. And I see this and I says, it's a tactical mistake. So I decided to go heavy into Stormcrawlers. A lot of people would say don't go into Stormcrawlers because it could be countered easily. Yes, there's an object there, and you could even have Mustangs counter them. But the more the enemy is focusing on my Stormcrawlers, the less the enemy is actually not paying attention to my other units, who are winning. And that's the key. My other units are winning. So I'm giving the person something to focus on that isn't making my units win, which is Stormcrawlers. And you notice that one thing I did give my Stormcrawlers, because they do occasionally hit, and the person not only got barriers but also got another fortress. Again, where did the money go for the previous round? And even with the Mustangs trying to shoot down the missiles, some of the missiles still hit the barrier and still hit the ground. And you notice the Stormcrawlers also have the static shock. So not only do they slow down the unit, But if the units have the upgrades, they nullify the upgrades for a little bit, which I think is also causing them some problems because some of the Mustangs no longer shoot missiles and then all of a sudden get shot by the missiles because they're not able to shoot them anymore. Left side's winning. Of course, the right side's harder because the left side only had level 1 fortress. Right side had a level 2 fortress. Even though I'm kind of winning, I don't think it's getting close, but I destroyed that fortress. I think now I can win. It's going to be close. And even though I'm saying the Stormcrawlers aren't the key to victory, they win me. They've been winning me the game, so maybe they are. Here's the important thing. Deployment specialist is going to be key. What unit can I need now? I'm thinking overlords, and here are my thoughts on this. True, I can only recruit one overlord, but I give it the armor defense. And the armor defense will nullify the damage that it receives, lower the damage it receives, and their level 1 Mustangs will do 0 damage to me. Level 2 Mustangs will only do like 1 2 points of damage. And I know I got the ability to get 3 units, but I only get 1 unit. And I also give my arc light the ability where they splash electricity on the enemy, causing them to slow down, and also to lose any abilities they have for a little bit. And that's what I'm rolling with. It also affects shields. They do more damage to shields. If I had more money, I could upgrade units, but try never to spend the midnight oil and get additional money because you get 200 now, but you lose 300 next turn. And that 300, of course, that's minus 100, but that's still, 300 you don't have. And Overlords actually had the highest DPS in the game, if I remember correctly. Or had the highest potential of DPS, I should say. And I kind of put the Overlord, if you know, is kind of like forward, because I do want the Overlord tanking. And notice how the Overlord is taking some fire now, but of course the Mustangs will stop and shoot the air. And the only thing that's really damaging the Overlord is not the Mustangs, but actually the snipers in the back. And because the Overlord is able to DPS, destroys the fortress. Now, the marksman in the back is what ultimately kills my Overlord. And I noticed it. My left side has failed. The left side did not have an Overlord. Right side has one because of the Overlord. So I already know what's happening here. I need more Overlords. This is my first victory. And look at it. 1 loss. And look how much hit points I lose. Assault Fang's useful. But I go for the Assault Core. And again, I want to play this Overlord kind of aggressive. Not too aggressive. And the left side needed help, so why not? Now, I make it a little cheeky breaky, and I decide to give them repair so that any damage they take, they'll heal. That's going to be a key. Because I saw the right side, they weren't really taking damage, but they were able to, if they were able to heal with damage that they did take, they would reverse it. And I go for arc lights. Again, I don't want to spend the midnight oil and waste extra money. And I decided to put 1 arc light in the middle and 1 arc light to the side to take care of those units real fast. And it has 4 fortresses now. And that missile took out a lot of fodder units. That's going to be dangerous. Could this be the end of my game? It depends on these Overlords. Shields are down on the right side. Left side still has shields. Shields are now down. The key to victory is that level 4 fortress. The 2 level 1 fortresses should be easy to kill. And the level 2 fortress to the left. Okay, right on cue. The level 1 fortresses have died for the enemy. And look at my Overlords. My Overlords are taking damage from both marksmen as well as the Mustangs. But because they're healing and they have the armor, they're able to tank the damage. And now the level 4 fortress, who's a beast, is dying to a level 2 Overlord. And both Overlords are at near 100% health or at 100% health. The left one, alright, got back to 100%. Look at that. What tanks? At least, or bolts. Alright, who knows? Flying bolts. Overlords. And this is a huge victory. Not quite a win yet, but close. Round 8. This is the round that will probably decide the fate of this game. Alright. Speed specialist, again, I'm not a big, there's nothing in my game that needs speed. Skill specialist, nothing there. Shield device specialist, I'm not really using shields. Barrier, I'm not going, I'm deciding not to use any giant units on the ground, so barrier is useless. Only option here for me is skip. Speed specialist, maybe, but no, no, because again, none of my units they're charging into me at this point in the game. They're charging into me, so speed's not relevant. Since they're coming to me. At least that's my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. I'm slowing down the game. Now I have 1,500 credits. What units do I need to get? I'm thinking Overlords is what's winning, so this is the key to victory. Let's see if my thoughts is right. I pick up two Overlords and I put them basically center, left, center, right. Now I can get up to 3 units and then spend an extra 50 credits and get a fourth unit. And I said, you know what? I have 300 credits. Is that possible? He says, well, what unit would I need? He says, all right. So I decided to get an arc light. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, I think I can win this game. So let's go for the gusto and spend some extra money. And so I decided to get an extra 200 credits. And then I purchased Mustangs. And I put the arc light in the back. And why am I putting the arc light in the back? So that way, at the end of the game, the arc light, or towards the end, the arc light could come in and clear up any fodder units. Now, the enemy brought a single melting point. This could be dangerous. If the melting point locks onto our overlords or early, they're dead. However, my fodder is keeping them alive. If I win beyond this, I'm seriously thinking of getting a mothership and getting wasps to reinforce my fodder units to prevent my ships from being targeted. However, left side has one. The right side, which has that single melting point, has now claimed the life of a single overlord. And the second overlord is finally going down, but still does tremendous amounts of damage. Will I have enough to win this victory? Now, because my my artillery units are hitting them with the static shock, they're being slowed down, and the overlord doesn't even get that far. This is a win, and because the person had so few points, it's a win-win. Again, why did I win? I countered the enemy and then went to the point where the enemy just kept on countering me and never had an answer for me. Never had me go back on the defensive and say, okay, what do I need to defeat the enemy? The person always had to figure out how to defeat me, and always stayed a step ahead. Likewise, I also started off with more points, and those extra points made a huge difference. Until next time, please be safe. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any comments, if you like my kitty cat, that's an actual kitty cat, Sally. She would love to hear your comments in the section below. And if you have any tactical decisions you wish to share upon me, if I'm doing something wrong, let me know. And again, my voice probably sounds a little different. This is a new headset. Enjoy yourself. And thank you. It's that time of the video where I say adios. Thank you for watching. And if you're hearing this, I really like to say thank you for staying at least this long or skipping to the end. I really appreciate it. Better yet, the YouTube gods seem to enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, click on the bell icon to notification alerts. It really does help content creators like myself. I need the help. If you have any suggestions about my YouTube content or my channel or about this video, I'd love to hear it. Please leave a comment. Regardless, I'd like to thank you for watching. Stay safe, be entertained, enjoy life, and until next time, adios, goodbye. Hope your RNG is better than mine. Thank you.
All hands, initiate shutdown sequence.